Good morning, everybody. This is Landon Medina from Connections, and I am joined here by Brandon and Mike from Lccc, and we're here to talk about apprenticeships. So, will you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you guys do for the college.
So I'm Brandon Giesler. I am the HVAC instructor. I coordinate with all the other instructors in the CT buildings or the trade classrooms to develop curriculum and make sure we're working with industry to meet their needs. And then during the summers, I'm actually participating out in the field still
Nice.
as a service technician. So if equipment's broken, I'm showing up and looking at it and figuring out what needs to be corrected and bringing that experience back into my classroom right now. So that's kind of my job in a nutshell.
Love that. Do you look forward to the summers, or you look forward to getting back in the classroom?
It's kind of a grass is always greener kind of thing. Towards the end of the semester, I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to get out and just do my job. And then towards the end of the summer, I'm like, whew, can't wait to get back inside and teach. And
Yeah. I'm sure it's nice in the winter, though, when it's cold outside. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just like, ooh, it looks cold out there today.
I get a lot of hazing about that.
I bet. I get all my buddies from the electricians programmers still giving me a bunch of crap about that. So it's pretty cool, though. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And what about you, Mike?
Well, my name is Mike Broad, and I am the State Director for the Office of Apprenticeship under the Department of Labor. And I partner with Laramie County Community College as we develop registered apprenticeship programs. They become the related instruction provider for the different sponsors that get involved in many of the occupations where they do offer the related instruction training component.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing that for?
15 years.
I didn't mean to put you. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I had to think about that.
You didn't have that one in your notes, huh?
No, I did not. Gosh.
So what made you get into this then?
I was an educator for 28 years.
Okay.
And I saw the direction that education was going, and it was getting so far away from taking students and be able to train them for work beyond or life beyond high school. And the whole direction was just pushing everybody to college.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody should go to college. Not everybody wants to go to college, and not every job requires a college degree. But we were doing nothing for the infrastructure of the United States, the jobs that do require higher ed, but not, or some sort of intentional training, but not a degree.
Right.
And so we were doing nothing for that. And as we were hearing more and more about shortages in the fields for the different occupations, unable, the sponsors of businesses unable to hire a skilled workforce. So, excuse me, this job came open, and I actually had the director that was in the job prior to myself come and ask me to apply.
Oh, nice.
Well, my master's is in mastery learning,
Okay.
and which deals with intentional learning or mastery of skill sets using more than one modality of learning, which is what they do in the fields that these guys are talking about in these apprenticeship programs.
Yep.
You went to school, you did the hands-on learning.
Yep.
You learned more. You mastered those skill sets, because you can't have just the hands-on learning and not the theoretical learning. You won't have the troubleshooting.
Yep.
Or those different skill sets. So basically, both skill sets are intentional for the learning that is needed for these occupations, but yet at the same time opens up more modalities so that you do master those skill sets that are needed to do the job.
Love it. And for you, Brandon, how come you got involved in the trades?
I was kind of on part of that generation where it was like go to college, kind of like Mike was describing. And so I tried that originally when I got out of high school. I had a scholarship to Lccc, but I had really no direction. So I figured I'd just go knock out my gen eds. It didn't work out for me, so I took a different path in life. And then once I kind of finally found myself as needing to actually do a career in life, my dad was in the trades.
Nice.
And he was the one who was always telling me, go to college, you know. But he lived a really successful life, you know. I was never hungry, never went without a roof over my head, things like that. So it was like, all right, I'm going to get into the trades and do just like my old man did. So I pursued the electrical at first, but I wanted to go to school first, and so I started looking at schools, and I learned about HVAC, and so that's kind of what got me involved in that. And the more I got into it, the more it really fit my personality, just troubleshooting and all that. My love of tools, playing with tools and stuff like that. So it really meshed well with me.
Nice. Now, for those of you guys who are watching and don't know really about apprenticeships, from my experience and from what I've seen other people experience, it's a really unique opportunity because you can get paid. You get paid to learn these skills. You're not paying, for 4 years and then get the chance to get a degree and then start making money. These people are paid from the beginning and can go to work while they're going through their apprenticeship programs, correct?
Well, they have to be. That's a requirement. They must be employed.
Perfect. So, instead of getting out of college, out of a 4-year degree and owing 40,000, there's a lot of people that owe a lot more than that. You should be able to get out pretty much debt free and earning the whole time, right?
I think the biggest expense that you have as an apprentice is what tools you need for the job is basically going to be the only thing you have to come up with. Other than that, the education piece right now is handled. The on-the-job learning is handled, and when you're working under somebody, generally they have all the tools that you would need to do the job.
Yep.
So you're going to be able to slowly piece together your tool set. So it's not like go out and buy them all at once. So the sting of that's a lot.
Oh
better.
yeah. We used to have to buy a tool every Friday,
right?
And that's how I'd get my tool bag up.
But anymore, there are scholarships and grant monies out there to help with that.
Really?
Yes, and the program right now at the college is being paid for by a registered state expansion grant. The college applied for an expansion grant and they received it, and so the plumbing and HVAC are both being paid for right now. The tuition is
that's
being
incredible.
paid for by an expansion grant. There are also WIOA funding that can help as a person, just as they're getting involved in apprenticeship or before they apply, to help with supportive services. Tools could be involved in those supportive services. Also, the Wyoming Department of Workforce Services has a registered apprenticeship grant. And new sponsors or old sponsors, whoever, they can apply for that grant. And that grant is designed to pay for the education costs.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so speaking of apprenticeships now and where they're going in the future, I know that we've seen a big problem with people retiring out of the trades faster than people are coming into the trades. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yes, we definitely have a skills gap.
Okay.
That is very definite, and unfortunately, due to the fact that we have the schools pushing the college. We're trying to work with the schools, the high schools, and trying to bring in counselors, teachers, parents. I mean, kids are all for it, but it's bringing in all the other layers of, support services for a student and bringing those for everyone to understand that these are valued and proven occupations with the training that goes along with it. I mean, my goodness sakes, registered apprenticeship is 84 years old. It's the best kept secret in Wyoming, we keep saying.
Oh, yeah.
But we just need to ensure that everybody's on board with this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a story about a parent that was not, and finally, she did let her student become an apprentice. He had to go to college and take the college classes first to do it. But yes, because people don't look at them as being viable types of occupations. But if you look at the pay range a lot of times, it's more.
Oh yeah, and the possibilities too. You know, one thing that I really liked about the apprenticeship is that once you're done with it, you can have a job, you know, by Monday, pretty much anywhere you want to go. The demand is very high for, you know, a journeyman, someone who has went through these trades, and I feel like, I mean, what an incredible thing to have under your belt, you know.
Right, and with that, with how you're kind of saying we got more people retiring than going into the trades right now, is that there's actually opening up a lot of higher management positions a lot quicker. So if you were to get into the trade, like say today, like start today, as soon as you become a journeyman or you complete your apprenticeship, whether whatever you're in, you might find yourself in a very high paying job very quickly, because those spots are opening up. And kind of what I'm talking about is more of like, if you think of like everybody who works like for the schools district or for the state that does HVAC, plumbing, electrical, they have great benefits working those jobs, and they're all like kind of taken, or those positions are filled right now with people that are kind of a retired age.
Explain to me National Apprenticeship Week and what you guys do there.
Okay, National Apprenticeship Week is an activity determined by the Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship to highlight registered apprenticeship programs throughout the United States.
Perfect.
So a couple of the college, we excel at doing National Apprenticeship Week activities because we try to take all of the areas that we work with to highlight everything. You know, several years ago, we did a Apprentice of the Year during National Apprenticeship Week, which, you know, you were it. So we try to work with the different communities. I partner with the colleges that work with me. I'm partnering with the workforce services offices because they have the job service offices all around the state. And they can work with my sponsors in those areas, and then also with the mayors. So we want, number one, Governor Gordon, we are working to set up a signing proclamation event that we try to do every year. Last year is the only year we have not had one. And so we all come together and we have the local sponsors bring their apprentices, so the apprentices and the sponsors can get highlighted as to what they are doing. We want to draw attention to these occupations and the value that they have, because, you know, if we don't have the techs, and we have the cold and the wind here, and we have no heat or no plumbing, we're going to be pretty upset.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough enough as it is. You know, you can't get somebody oftentimes just immediately, so you do have a little bit of time. But if you're going to have like a week's worth of time because we have a shortage, it becomes very, very crucial at that point in time. So we like to highlight everybody. And then, of course, bring it up with the mayors of the communities to let them know what they have in their communities for the apprenticeships as well. And then also have the mayors highlight the apprentices and the sponsors. And like the college, we're doing many activities, this one being one, to highlight what the college is doing to help with this registered apprenticeship and to get this training out. Whether they were apprenticed or not, the training that they're doing at the college for these occupations is incredible.
Yep.
And it's very important.
Absolutely. So basically, this National Apprenticeship Week is just to shed light on all the different opportunities that people have. And I was going to say kids, but I've seen really old apprentices as well. But the opportunities that people have besides college, right?
Yeah, and kind of back on that, just don't know to throw in there, when we do see a lot of non-traditional, I guess we'll be classifying because they're not coming straight out of high school into the trades, but we're seeing people who've gone and done something else, kind of like how we've talked about, me and you, and they're coming into the trades maybe when they're like 23. Kind of seems to be kind of the sweet spot.
Okay.
But I've had apprentices as old as in their 40s. I've even had one kind of closer to in their 50s,
Yes.
that just started their apprenticeship, and one thing is you're never really too old to jump into the trade.
Yep.
If that's something like, you're thinking about doing, if it's just, I don't know what your reason that's holding your back, but now's a great time to do it.
Oh my God.
Everyone's hiring. So.
Now's the best time to do it. Yeah. You could have 5 job offers tomorrow if you wanted. Yeah.
Well, and with the grant monies out there as well, I mean, that is just very helpful. There is no reason, people say, well, I can't afford to go to the college classes or whatever. There's no reason not to there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's covered.
But kind of back to the original question about apprenticeship week is that, to me, I guess my input on it is that this is a chance to highlight and celebrate the apprenticeship, because the apprenticeship right now, like in any trade, is the backbone of that trade. They're the ones that are doing, all the grunt work.
Yeah.
They're the ones
yeah.
kind of, getting in the tighter spaces and doing stuff, and the journeyman's able to sit back and maybe even tell a story about when they were in that exact scenario. And then they go in there and kind of double check. So, apprentices, when you're kind of paying your dues during your beginning classes, in your early on in your career, it is nice to know that there's a week to stop and reflect and be like, hey, thank you for being part of this trade with me.
Yeah.
Because
that's way awesome, because like you said, they're the apprentices are the backbones, and they get into the tight spots and have to do all the digging and all the hard work.
That pulling of conduit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was my first year, they were telling me, well, when the new first years come in, you'll get better jobs. And then we come to my second year, and we didn't have no first years coming. So I got to be the first year all over again.
Oh, yeah.
But it is nice to have, a week that is just dedicated to you and appreciating you. I would like to see contractors get a little more involved in that and actually do something in the shop as well for Apprenticeship Week.
Right, and I do have a meeting today with my industry, so I'll be talking with Advanced Comfort, Climate Control, AC Mechanical, and hopefully if Mr. Bees can make it today, and they all have apprentices, and for the most part all participate with me in the program of just HVAC alone. AC Mechanical actually participates in the plumbing as well. They're a plumbing heating company. But I want to bring that up if we got time in the next meeting with them. Be like, hey, we need to really kind of crack down and honor this apprenticeship week a little bit more, and let's motivate those guys.
Yep, for sure. Okay, guys. Well, I guess that we can wrap this up here. Is there anything that you guys would like to tell our audience that we may have missed about the apprenticeship week? Or not even the week, but about the programs in general?
I guess kind of maybe just sum up all my thoughts. I mean, I probably already said some of this or just what you use or whatever. But right now is a great time to get into the trade. So if if you're working a job where you feel like you're not progressing, maybe you're stuck at a certain dollar amount or whatever it is, look into the trades. Look into see how they pay. Like they start off at a certain amount. There's usually a dollar raise at minimum guaranteed every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, like working at some places, driving a forklift, you might max out at $14 an hour with a 3% increase, every year. But in the trades, that first year is the lowest you're ever going to be paid.
Yep.
You're only going to progress from there. Because I run into a lot of people that are like, I want to get into the trades, but I don't have any experience, and I feel like they get this lecture from you where I'm like, don't let that hold you back. They are just begging for people to come learn. They're not even expecting experience to show up. If you can hold the other side of a 2x4 or hold the other side of a pipe or conduit
Or dig with a shovel,
you are qualified. And as long as you can ask questions and learn, guys are more than willing to talk about the trade and teach you. Because again, like I was saying, apprentices are the backbone of the workforce, right? They, if they got somewhere they're training, then they're not the ones having to do the work. So they're more glad to share the knowledge if you think about it that way.
yeah. And for people who are nervous about not having experience going in, I promise you have more experience in the trades than I did when I started. I had no idea. I had never taken a shop class before. I had never. I held the flashlight while my old man yelled at me a few times. That's about my experience on there. And I don't know. It changed my life. Like, I love the trades and what the apprenticeships were able to offer for me and my family.
And I feel like a blank slate like that, someone who doesn't know anything, is almost a better tradesman all around, because they're the ones who are going to sit there and ask the questions. They're not going to be the ones who go, oh no, I know how to use this tool. Like, they're going to be like, explain this to me, and why I'm doing it.
Yep.
And it makes a better work environment. And that person's not as dangerous because they're like, oh no, I know how to do this. They're like, oh, I'll let you do that, and then you go do your side of the job, and you come back and you're like, ooh, that's wrong.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a lot less of that with someone without experience. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's true.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on here. Huh? Oh, okay. So, will you guys explain how someone who's watching can go about getting into these programs?
So the programs themselves, like, so not every trade shop in Cheyenne participates in an active program. So that would be one thing you might want to ask in the interview. All those companies I mentioned earlier, Ants Comfort, Climate Control, AC Mechanical, Mr. B's, they do participate in either the registered apprenticeship or their own registered apprenticeship in HVAC. So if you wanted to get into that specific trade, that would be something you want to ask about. Now, if you are coming into the trade and you're just like, I just don't know enough, I don't feel comfortable applying for this job, there is a 4-credit daytime program where we will teach you hands-on skills and front-load your education for that trade.
Perfect.
Right now, HVAC is kind of leading the way. We just got electrical kind of up and going. Plumbing's kind of been a little rougher just because we don't have too many people to work with, so that's still on the non-credit side. So if you're interested in plumbing, that would be something to talk to one of the plumbing companies, MSI, Merit Plumbing and Heating, and I think that's all I can think of right now. But
There's just a few more.
Just to throw it out there right now, like if you are interested in the trade and you are interviewing, these are some things you should be asking. Hey, what do you do for on-the-job learning, and what do you do for classroom education?
Perfect.
Perfect. And for occupations or sponsors or industry people, owners, whatever, that are not definitely plumber and electrical,
Sorry.
you can, anybody, any of the trades or whatever are approved occupations for registered apprenticeship. All they have to do is contact me, and I work with them to develop a registered apprenticeship program. And then, if there is not a related instruction component, I try to work with the college to try to get one developed if they can do it, and if not, then we have to look elsewhere, of course, to help provide. But even industries, and like he was talking about, one of the companies he works with, they had their own on-site training for the longest time, because you were involved in that, weren't you?
Yeah, I kind of, not to brag too much, but I united all the HVAC shops,
Nice.
or 3 of them anyways, to follow the same training schedule, which would be the Appendix A that Mike Rod sets up with you for your company, and then we pretty much execute it with the help of all 3 of those shops. So.
Perfect. So, if you guys are looking for information on that, I will get information from Mike and Brandon, and I will have them in the comments below on this video, in case you guys are interested in learning more about apprenticeships, and I will have their contact info as well in case you guys want to reach out and ask any more questions of these two. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and if for you guys watching, just summary real quick. Apprenticeships are pay as you go, so you get paid to learn here, and you get on-site training and classroom hours, and they're really good programs for you to jumpstart your career. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you guys for joining, and we will see you next time. Thanks guys.